this, I thought my career was in McDonald's flipping burgers. Going into starting my new franchise now, I'm feeling very, very confident. I came into this with having barely any money. I remember I spent my life savings on this business. I had 50,000 in the bank, and I spent about 36,000 of it on buying the Jim's Mowing franchise, and then I spent about 10 to 15 grand on tools. I remember that my first week coming in, I didn't even think I was going to be able to pay my mortgage because we didn't have any money left. And so me and my wife were talking about getting a credit card to be able to pay the mortgage. But that first week in, I ended up making 3,650, and you know, it just went on from there. And it would have never been possible if it wasn't for Jim building this terrific system himself. So all the stuff that he'd done back in the 80s, 90s has led me to be able to come in today and be able to pretty much stand on the back of his hard work and be able to build myself into what I am now. Well,
Dan's been a spectacular franchisee. He's just been one of the stars. He's come in, and the great thing about Dan is that he not only makes a heap of money, but he's also got one of the best customer service records in Jim's Mowing. Well, he first came to my attention as a extremely good and successful franchisee. Somebody who was able to build a major team and also achieve great customer service. He's actually one of the best star ratings in the whole of Jim's Mowing.
Yeah.
Despite having a major business, which actually creates a lot of challenges. It's not a case of being incredibly brilliant or educated or fit or good looking or anything. It's a case of going into a business and saying, how can I do it better? And every day you ask yourself the same question. And I've been doing the same thing for the last half century. Every day, when I was mowing lawns, when I was a franchisor, anything, how can I improve? And if you keep on asking that question and you keep on learning from those around you, you will become astonishingly good with time.
As I built my business more and more and more, you find that the things that motivate you at the start, which for me was money at the start, slowly don't matter as much because you get to a point where you've got money and you're comfortable. And then you try and find things to motivate yourself more. And for me, I got to a point where my thing that motivated me was making sure that all my employees had as close to 40 hours a week as possible. It wasn't even for the sales for me. I just wanted to be able to make sure that they had enough hours for the week. And so I brought on more jobs to be able to get them to that point. Because I knew that my employees were looking after me, so I wanted to look after them as much as possible.
And you just said, well, like that, we said, Dan, come in and help us with running training.
Yes.
So Dan came in to run this course in training, and he just talks about what he's done, and people love it.
And I came in and I'm teaching 120 to 150 people in classes sometimes, and I'm telling them my story, and I can tell them all in one go. I loved being able to do that because people came up to me and they said, thank you so much, Dan. Dan, you're an inspiration. I joined because I seen your stories, and it meant so much to these people, and I love that feeling. And then I was like, what else can I do? Like, I've done so much here. I want to take it to the next level, and I want to help more people.
We actually like to promote from within. That is a really strong point, because the fact of the matter is you can have all the business background you like in the world, and you're trying to sell a franchise. What are you selling? Oh, this is a great idea. So have you ever done it? No, of course not. I'm a manager. I mean, it doesn't come across well. But if you can say, no, I started this. This is my story, and you talk about your first week and so forth. So we actually find that successful franchisees make very, very good franchisors.
So I decided to go look at being a franchisor, because I knew that I would be able to directly impact people's businesses and teach them how to build their business in something that I understand very well. And so I've been doing it for about nearly 3 weeks now, and I've been able to directly impact people's businesses and make them more money. And it's a fantastic feeling when I know that they're making more money a week and they're spending more time with their family as well.
Really exciting, actually, because one of the things that we often talk about is the value of the entrepreneurial spirit within gyms. It's the vision I always had for Gym Group in the beginning, that people would have these major teams, and it generally doesn't happen. But it should, because the opportunity is there. Why shouldn't somebody turn over $750,000 a year? It's such a brilliant business. It'd be great if every franchisee could be turning over $500,000 a year. I'd be so happy.
People don't understand what they're capable of before they come into it. So if you've been on wages all the time, you have no idea what your potential is. I had no idea what my potential is. I came into this not knowing it all, and then I realised, 3.5 years later, I'm standing here, and I was nothing like this when I first started. My confidence has grew. My whole lifestyle has completely changed. I've set myself up for life.